Stand by for action.
Hello race fans, this is Minnie Hayne here in a big coat. We are at Brymbo, amateur championship for me today, not vets. We're all set up, looking factory. We've got Matt's bike here as well, we've got all our awnings set up, looking very factory in here. Mrs Minnie Hayne's got her food prep area, I've just polished the table for you. So actually, hopefully I have a good time here. Last time I rode here I wasn't a big fan of the track at all. In fact I think I went home, but it's a championship, but it looks like the club's done a lot of work on it, so hopefully it should be a good day. Now today we got round 2 I think of the mini cross, and I'm gutted because I really wanted to ride this championship. I used to ride pit bikes and race them quite a lot back a few years ago, so who knows, I might get tempted. So we did race 1, cracking start, 3rd into the first turn, and was 3rd for a lap or 2. The track is very narrow and there's a hole on one of the jumps on the face, and I told everybody to avoid it after practice, and I hit it in my race, and there was no room for error, so off the side of the track the jumper went. Rejoined on the next corner, but there was a big rock on the corner where I rejoined, so that nearly took my front wheel out. So dropped back a few places, got back to, what was it, Mrs Minnie Hayne? 10th it was. and I wouldn't have been able to go much faster because I say it just felt like I was fighting the bike all the way. Nothing to do with the bike, it's just a very tight track and a lot of stones on it, and I'm riding it in the aggressive map, so it's certainly a bit of a handful. 25 riders out there, so yeah. So pull my finger out my arse for the next one and we'll see how we do. 2 to go. They're having a few red flags today and are watering the track now just before the mini bike, so hopefully they'll dry it out a little bit before I go out. But it is what it is, Mrs. Miniane.
It certainly is. It does mean the white kit.
Yeah, the white kit was put on for a little while, and then they've seen the tractor Bowser go out, so the white kit has now gone off and the black kit is now back.
Yeah.
To save Mrs. Miniane's washing chores. whereas the last time I rode there, I didn't like the track at all. And I went out there today and I did enjoy the track. My only gripe would be that it's very narrow, especially for 450s. I felt like I was fighting to keep the bike on the track at some points. As in my first race where I hit that lump on the face of the jump after I told everybody else to watch out for that face of the jump. Even though I'd probably only drifted 2 foot off, I was actually landed off the side of the jump and down into the corner. So, and there was a bit of dust today, but fair players, they addressed the situation, got the dust. Although we're now going to turn to our third race, it was the dust that caught me out, and the track being a little bit narrow. I had 2 cracking starts in the first 2 races. Race number 3, the guy next to me just came up a little bit, pinched me off. I didn't get out the gate quick enough, so I was probably about 12th into the first turn, Mrs. Minion, or around there.
Yeah, probably about that.
And of course, then we came out the first turn, and it goes up to a bit of a brow, narrow. But obviously they've dropped the blade of the dozer to mark the track out, so there's a 2 foot high bank. Couldn't see the dust. Next thing you knew, straight over the bars, upside down in the brambles. So I got brambles in me, and it was an odd crash because my leg instantly, I knew it had done the top of my thigh, but it felt wet, and I thought, and it was right at the top of my knee brace, and I thought I've done an artery or something, because it did feel that wet, and it was sore. So I quickly put my hands down my pants. There was no blood, and then nothing broken. Got up. I thought I probably wouldn't be able to restart the race because I thought it was me that was the red flag. But as I got up, the track was littered with a few other bikes going down the hill. I presume it all just had the same, just clipped each other in the dust. Just one of them, really. Anyway, so there was no way I was just going to load up and go home and have that playing on me, because it was a big one. My nice shiny new bike is looking a little bit second hand now. We bent the front mudguard up a fair bit, creased all the graphics and a few of the scuffs on it.
Scuffed everything, yeah.
Anyway, so I went to the line, did a start, didn't get out the gate that brilliantly either, and again I could see it happening again. It was thick dust as was coming out the first turn, so I just hung back. My legs were a bit sore, so I got up to 16th in that one, and I got 10th overall on the day because of my crap out in race 3. So I was just struggling to get up a big monster hill with like all the bikes and all the stuff in the van. So it was an odd day. As I say, it's weird. I actually enjoyed the track today. It's a fun little track to ride. It's very difficult to race on. If that makes any sense to any of you racers, you've got to have your wits. Like a couple of times coming up against back markers, there wasn't a lot of room. So that was it. My only gripe with it. Get a chance, guys. Probably run the dozer around and make it a little bit wider in this. I don't care if you give me some stick. It's just a constructive, not slating you. It's a good track. I enjoyed it. Just could do with being a little bit wider in a couple of places. Meeting was well run. Good day all round. We've got I've got to do a double header next week. I've got that championship that I was in today and a vets next week, so 2 classes, Mrs. Minier. That's if I can walk. I've already had some ibuprofen just to drive home to operate the pedals.
No, we'll be okay.
I got 2 dead legs, but it was cold and windy, very sunny, but a great day. Very good day's racing, so well done. Just a bit tricky track to ride on, although fun, so I'm not slating it. That's it, that's my opinion on today. What do you reckon, Mrs. Miniane?
I thought the day good. It was a nice little outing. Quite a long-winded day today. There was a lot of stop-starts, a lot of water in the track. 3 red flags all in total.
Yeah, we did have a couple.
That, you know, it was a hell of a long day.
Yeah.
But you know, we certainly got our money's worth. And for all those people that saw me running across the fields trying not to break my ankles when I noticed that my husband hadn't come round the bend and the red flag came up, yeah, I'm not sorry.
Yes, sorry about that, Mrs. Minihane. I did, as I was going back to the line across the top, I saw Mrs. Minihane had ran all the way down to the bottom of the hill. So sorry for giving any little heart flutters there. Also got to say, great to see Blaine Blackwell and all the mini bike guys there today.
They were fab.
Because I actually wanted to ride in that series this year, but with everything else going on, buying a new bike and place in Spain and everything else, I haven't had time to buy a pit bike this year. Great racing, and which would have been a tricky because there was a lot of stones come up, so with their little 12 and 14 inch wheels and whatever, that would have been hard work out there for them guys. But brilliant, and putting on a great display and showing what pit bike racing can be about. Lots of fun.
Lots of fun.
And we're hoping to join in on some of the action. If it won't be this year, definitely next year I'll be looking at a bit of pit bike action. Anyway, I should have said it at the beginning. If you've enjoyed the video and watching me crash and scratching my lovely nice shiny bike, please like and subscribe, and we'll try and not crash the next one. But you can